let's do it. Good evening, folks. We get together here on Wednesday evenings in search of 3870 on a bunch of radios made back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even more into modern times. If you're interested in the hybrid radios or even the modern radios and you're interested in what we're doing, this is the place to get together on Wednesday evenings. Buy-sell trades are appreciated if they are vintage radio related, and there's a lot of technical expertise reflected here, so you have a question about a radio you're working on, this is a good place to ask the question. All right, let me just talk to all these folks right quick, and then I'll give it to Jay, then I'll give it to Rusty. We ought to fill up the evening, because I know that the sunspot cycle is getting better, so let's see when we can start getting back working coast to coast. Tonight, I'm on the combination of ingredients which started in 1948 when Collins built their first permeability-tuned oscillator and put it in a box called the 310Bs, the one I've got here. It was an exciter for their AM rigs in those days, and I used that to drive a Heathkit single sideband adapter called an SB10. And I adapted a Heathkit DX60 to single sideband with this adapter, and that is all then driving the Collins 30L1. I like to call this station the radio version of a 59 Studebaker because it's not too good, but it'll get you where you're going. W5TXW, talk to us, George, K5LYN.
And all around the net from WB5TXW for the finest hour of amateur radio for the week. Good signals tonight all around. So I'm on all the usual stuff which seems to be working. 32S1, 75S3, 30L1 is working right along with the Shure 444 microphone and the 75-meter antenna, dipole, inverted V, somewhere in between. So that's it. Lynn, over.
Sounding good, George, and loud as horseradish. Anything else for the net this evening?
That's it for tonight. You know, we got 2 rainstorms in the last week, about 2 inches of rain here, over.
Yeah, total was 1.5 inches at my house. It was a real pleasure.
Right. Well, someday soon, WB5TXW back to net.
Very good, George. Great signal. WB1E, tell us about it, Doug.
Okay, good evening, everybody. This is Doug, Whiskey Bravo 1 Echo over here in Bryan, Texas. And I'm talking to you on a Swan 500. It's a plain old 500. It was a garage queen for a while, and then it was given to me from a good friend, and it didn't take much to get it going. Just some those ITs, those Q-tips that are sharpened like a pencil tip, and some carburetor cleaner, and it removes the silver oxide very nicely. I have to say I'm not used to something that works so well with so little elbow grease, so it was a pleasure. Anyway, a little help tonight with a classic X2K Henry linear amplifier with 2 3500Zs running at approximately 3,000 volts, going up to a 4-to-1 balun on an inverted V at 95 feet, cut for this frequency. So, pleasure to be on the Bone Anchor net, and everybody sounded great. So, 7-3 to all. And this is Whiskey Bravo 1 Echo back to net.
The usual beautiful, strong, absolutely incredible signal, Doug. Great to hear you. And while we're talking to Doug, let's talk to W5IS. Doug, I bet I hear you a lot better this time. The sun's farther getting down there. Talk to us.
Yes, W5IS. Oh, you copying me now?
I'm copying you great, Doug.
Okay, I'm going to tell you again, what I tried to do a while ago. I'm running an HDR plane. And I don't understand that now. But it's picking up here when I see it. All your low amount of skin. I left them a lot. Can feel like what you have on the sometimes I'm very let you know where you are.
Great signal, Doug. Yeah, I see your point about that, and we'll keep it under consideration. All right, how about Mr. WOZ? What do you say, Dan, K5LYN?
Yeah, good evening, Lynn, all the boat anchor shipwreck people on here tonight. This is Dan in Houston. I'm cheating tonight. I'm running a flex, but I had good intentions. I even brought my old NCX3 up here. I wanted to hook that up to a different amplifier, and I couldn't find my cable, so it's sitting here on the bench and not working. Maybe next week we'll get to it. I got everything turned upside down around here right now anyway, but we'll get her cleared out by next week. Nothing else new from here. Just same old stuff. KWOZ.
Sounds great, Dan. And since you're looking at a flex screen, am I still looking okay, or do I need to give it to somebody else?
Oh, no, you're right on the dot as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, Colin's got it right back in 48, apparently. All right, Sammy, DPP, are you still there?
Yeah, even there, Lynn. Everybody listed on the boat anchor that this W5DPP has got a whole lot to add. Just kind of wore out today. Did too much, of course, but tomorrow's another day. Maybe we'll do less tomorrow, I hope. That's the result, W5DPP.
Nice to hear you, Sammy. Beautiful signal into Austin. How about Fred, HTR? Fred, talk to us.
Yo, K5LYN, W5HTR. Well, I'm talking on the same old TR4 with a little help from an FL 2000B. And it's the first B and the mic's a Shure 444 Delta. And that's pretty much the rig here. I came up with an interesting thing. If any of you guys have been to a physician's office lately, they ask you a bunch of canned questions like, have you been around somebody that has a virus, or do you have a fever or anything? This is significant when he starts asking you when you talk to other people, do they tell you sound like you're off frequency? K5LYN in the net, W5HTR.
Well, they haven't asked me yet, that, Fred, but I'm going to a dermatologist next week, so maybe it'll come up.
That would be interesting.
All right, let's move on to Ralph. BTM, tell us about it, Ralph.
Yes, K5LYN in the net, N5 BTM, Ralph in Springs, 30 miles north of the Sanctuary City. Tonight we're on HNSB 100 transceiver. And that's driving a homebrew GS35B amplifier, about 800 watts out. And the microphone's a Shure 444 and trap dipole antenna in an inverted V configuration. And that's going to a Drake MN2700 tuner. So that's about it. Good signals on the band, and look forward to hearing the rest of the guys this evening. N5 BTM.
Very good, Ralph. Yeah, a collection of wonderful signals so far. Let's see if we can keep it up. Great to hear you. All right, how about Mike up there, WA5MTT? Are we hearing Collins tonight, Mike?
Yes, sir. We are on the Collins S line again. The Winged Emblem 1961 version, the 75S2 receiver, 32S1 transmitter, and the S1 amplifier here, 30S1 amplifier. Microphone is Electro Voice 674. Same old stations on last time. Just thought I'd get on because I hadn't been on in a while. Back to you, Lynn.
No way it could be any better, Mike, and you're the absolute authority on 30S1s in my book these days.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it's a survivalist interpretation.
I guess it's a good thing as long as they're working, right?
Absolutely. Good to hear you. Anything else for the group?
No, that's it. Looks like we're in the dog days of summer now.
Yep, it sure does. I'm tired of it already. All right, while we're talking to Mike, let's talk about W5MT. How about Mike, K5LYN?
Okay, Lynn, good evening to you and everybody on the net. This is Whiskey 5, Mike Papa. Hello. Got a bad microphone connection here. Whiskey 5, Mike Papa in North Houston, and The equipment here is an old Drake TR4, made in late '64, as judged by code dates on the crystals. Some components inside. The antenna is a triangle loop. It's 100 feet across the top there, up at the 75-foot level, and the other two sides come down to a feed point fed with open wire transmission line. And I've got a big homebrew antenna tuner here in the shack, impedance matching network here, and it can handle the Drake L4B amp. So good to be on here with everybody with all this old-time equipment. It's quite a pleasure. And the old technology is still capable of communicating after all these decades. And as real radio men, we know how to fix them. Even fix them on our lunch hour sometimes. Back to you, Net Control Lynn. This is W5MP.
Very fine, Mike. And if y'all haven't ever looked up W5MP on QRZ.com, you really need to do it. Great to hear you, Mike. Hey, are y'all staying in touch with folks in Colombia these days?
Yeah, of course. My wife is from Colombia, and we talk to them often. She got a big family.
Yeah, one of our other net members, KE5Q, is married to a Colombian girl, too. And as you know, I spent some time there. All right, moving on down the road. How about the KC5L, Tom?
Hey, good evening, Lynn, and the Boat Anchors Net. Tom, KC5L in San Antonio. And tonight we're talking on the Central Electronics 200V from 1961. And that's going into a Central Electronics 600L from the late 50s. The microphone is a D104. And we're listening on a R390A that was made in the late 1950s on a Collins contract. So that's about all I have. Everyone's sounding great tonight. So back to you, Lynn, KC5L.
That's as good as it gets, Tom. Every time I hear it, it's always like that. All right. I'm going to talk to Perry, then I'm going to talk to MOE Mike, then Jay, you're up. And while you and Rusty are wrestling with it, I'm going to see if I can get the cheap and easy SSB on over here. KB0UOZ. Hey, Perry, talk to us. K5LYN.
Okay, well, good evening, end of the day. Good evening to you, sir. You're excited good here to meet today and things. Anyway, let's say we're on the feedback to SB102 and things. And of course, they got this feature stuff, you know, it's up here. The console and the SB60 is called going all that stuff. We're running through the SB 230 amplifier, getting down about 500 watts, and going through the he's getting which one, the 40s and 20s. And what am I on? I got to think about the 2060. Not the 2068, just the straight 2060 tuner. Anyway, kind of the same old story here running the Shure 450 microphone. So, kind of the story here this evening, Lynn. Everybody sounded pretty doggone good. Band seems to be good this evening. I'm thankful for that. And we've been cool the last 2 or 3 nights. I think it got up near 80 today. Yesterday we were only about 72 degrees. That was really midnight, but I think the dog days are on their way back. It's going to get hot again. KB0, you know that.
You're way ahead of us, Perry. It's 100 degrees here, or within a degree or two of that every day these days. Great to hear you. Anything else for the net this evening?
No, that's it. I appreciate you guys doing the net. Appreciate everybody checking into the net. So everybody have a good night. Catch you next week, KB0. You know that.
Okay, Mike, WA5MOE. You're my last contact on this run. How you doing over there, K5LYN?
Well, it's been hot over here, that's for sure. This is K5LYN, WA5MOE over in College Station. And we're on the Drake TR4CW tonight with the RV4C remote VFO. And we've got a dipole up inverted V 2BT, 2BT or something like that. inverted V dipole that we've used for many years. And it's barefoot tonight, but we could put something with it, but we don't do that unless we have to. So anyway, it's nice to hear all the old rigs on tonight and be on and read the mail is more fun hearing what everybody's running. So hopefully I'm going to bring the straight 2B up on with the receiver. I got to find a small sideband transmitter that kind of goes with it. So anyway, we'll continue to listen out, and it's great to hear everybody tonight.
Yeah, I've got 3 Drake receivers, Mike, and all 3 of them have the Q multiplier. So that's a good way to go. Keep after it, okay?
Yeah, in fact, I bought the Q multiplier off eBay here not too long ago to go in the I'm sorry, not the Q, the noise blanker. That was the only other thing that I could use in the TR4CW, you know. So it's loaded, but my Drake 2B, which I love it, I've completely realigned it. It's all ready to go. I got everything you could get in it. So I'm just looking for a sideband transmitter that's not too physically big that I can put with it. Even I can drive an amplifier, so it doesn't have to put out much power. And I'll find something.
Yeah, well, there's several of us that are into central electronics, so keep that thought in mind. And yeah, I love the Q multiplier, I especially in the peak position. And I'll be on mine as soon as I switch transmitters here in a minute. Anything else on your end before I give it to Jay?
I'm with you on the 2BQ. It's the Drake 2B and 2BQ because that's the finest radio I ever had in my early days. All right, 73 to everybody.
Yeah, it's still hard to beat. Okay, Jay, KM5QS, I'm going to switch gears here over to you and Rusty, and hopefully I'll survive the experience. K5LYN.
Well, just remember to keep your left hand in your pocket when you're switching them leads. Anyway, good deal. Well, that's quite a run, Lynn. It sounds like it's going to be a good night. Hello, everybody. This is Jay, KM5QS, and I'm in Alice, Texas. I'm on a set of Kenwood twins this evening, the T and R599 Delta radios, and I'm driving a Kenwood TL922 amplifier using an Electro Voice 664A microphone mounted on a boom, so I can talk and write at the same time if I have to. Homebrew antenna tuner, homebrew line, ladder line, and a homebrew antenna. So there we have it. 160 dipole stretched out all the way across the neighborhood. Doing anywhere between 700 and 1300 and something watts as we speak. Before I call for a listing, I have a boat anchor related want. There's a couple of things that I'm looking for. And I've got a couple of things that are boat anchor related that I can swap for whatever. What I have for sale or trade is a tube tester, an military style tube tester, Tango Victor 2 / Charlie uniform. And that's about I'm asking $300 for it. You can get more than that on eBay, but that's okay. Or I would swap it for what's coming up in a little bit. I also have a VHF 150. That's a Swan 2-meter amplifier. It's tube type. It's made in the 50s, so it is boat anchor related. And it comes with a spare 8954. I think it's a tube. Anyway, it's still a petro. It's got a new old stock spare tube to go with it, even though the one that's in it is still full output. That's also $300. I am looking for a Kenwood TS820 sugar. I recently acquired an R820, and I would love to match them up and put them on the air. So if anyone's got one in reasonably good condition that works and needs either two of those things or just doesn't have a real big price tag on it, I would be interested. I'm also looking for the AM filter for the R820. It would be a Kenwood YG, Yankee George, 88-A as an alpha. If anyone's got one of those extras, I'd be interested in that. And I'm good on QRZ, give little Mike 5, Quebec Sierra. Or if you want my phone number, just ask me sometime during the night and I'll give it to you. Okay. All that being said, I've talked long enough. I've warmed everything up on the 922. So, who wants to check in to Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now, please.
Whiskey 5, Delta Kilo. November 5, Sierra Mike.
K0, Sierra Echo Delta. Okay, that's 3. Let me get y'all, and then we'll go from there. Whiskey 5, DK, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Don, here, Delta Oscar, November. 30 miles north of San Antonio in Spring Branch, Hill Country, north of town. Running same old station here, boring TR4, B104 running it, and an L4 amp pushing something out. It's an early one, no B on it, just serial number 19, out to a double extended ZEP antenna. Good hearing everybody. Back to you, Jay. W5DK.
Okay, Don. Well, you're coming down here strong. Everything's looking good. So, thank you, sir, for checking in. We'll move along. Sounds like we might have a good one tonight. So, November 5, SK. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, Jay, N5SM. Good evening to you and all the boat anchors. Same old thing as I was on last week. TS830 going into a TL922 and into an MV5 Night Viking tuner to a 80-meter loop up about 30 feet. MC50 microphone. That's about it on this end of the wire. And I'd like to ask the question, if anybody has a plate meter gauge for a TL922. I've got the amplifier. I'm trying to get it up for my son who's about to become a general, so he'll be able to get on the air with it. So I need a plate meter. If anybody's got one, I'm good in QRZ. So that's all I've got. November 5, Sierra Mike. Back to you, Jay.
Okay. Well, that's, yeah, you're loud down here, but that, there ought to be somebody out there with the 922 that they got some parts out of. Dan might have something laying around the shack. You never can tell. But anyone got a spare plate meter for a TL922 Kenwood? Look up November 5 Sierra Mike in the QRZ and let him know, and I think he wants it.
Thank you, Jay.
No problem. All right, Mr. Steve, K0SCD, come on down.
Well, good evening, Jay, and all the boat anchors. K0SCD in Tyler, where, let's see, tonight, starting out with an MC50, to a TS520, to a Collins 30L1, a Van Dyke pull-up, 40-odd feet, and that's about it for the station. Another beautiful day in East Texas. Nice and cool, 90. That was it. Back to you, Jay. K0SCD.
Okay, Steve. My goodness, yeah, it gets. I used to work a little bit up around there inside all them piney woods when the wind couldn't get to you. 90 degrees feels like 130. But anyway, hope you're doing all right up there, Steve. When are you going back to the Bahamas?
I don't know. That's a real good question.
Well, the way things are going, you'll probably make it to the Bahamas before we have another Hamfest. Oh, well, we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you, sir. We'll catch up with you later. All right. Who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited coming out?
W5OMR.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Nobody else behind me. Hello, Jay, and everybody else there on the net. W5OMR. Hang on. Turn that 70 thing down, and I'm not on the Johnson Viking 2 and the R-274 helicopter receiver, aka the SX-73. Tonight I'm on a Kenwood TS-690, and I'm still driving that into the Drake L7 amplifier. And the output of that's going to an old Heathkit SA-2060 tuner, feeding about 85 feet of open wire feed line to a full wave delta loop here on 75 meters, running at about 750 watts. And that's it. That's pretty much the station here. I got the receiver, the transmitter, and I'm using this transceiver, the Drake L7, and the old Heathkit tuner. Everything's old except for the TS-690, and it's not young. Hell, this thing came back out in, 1990 or something like that. So it's been a chore to keep it on the air, too, now for the last 30 years. That's about it from here, Jay. Good to hear you. Good to hear everybody. Lynn, you sounded good. All the good sounding stations. And that's about it from here. KM5QS, W5OMR.
Well, all righty, Jeff. Yep, you're making it down here fine. Well, you should be, but I guess maybe we'll catch you on the other one next week or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's 30 years old. That ought to get close. 30 years old. It's just a kid, right? Thanks, Jeff. All right, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come on down.
Take your advice, Lynn, and looked at Mike Palmer's QRZ page. Very impressive.
Yeah, it is. All right. Rusty, I didn't get a response, so why don't you give her a shot? KM5QS to WK5R.
KM5QS, WK5. Let me set this up here just a second. Let's see. There we go, right there. Tonight I'm on the usual HT37 Helicrafters, the Audio Technica AT2035 microphone, studio microphone. I'm receiving on the 706 Mark II-G, and I'm driving the homebrew GS35B amplifier into the fan dipole up at about 50 feet, no tuner. All right, with that, I guess, man. Who else out there for, let me see, KB0UOZ, if you spoke yet, Barry, come on.
Yeah, I've had a turn, but well, I can take another one. I'm on my Heathkit 102, SP102 here this evening, and driving the SP230 amplifier. But yeah, I only had a turn a while ago. Wind got me in. Thanks, KB.
Okay. Now there's so many in a row there that I forgot. All right. Who else to the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
WA5EDX.
Hey, go ahead, Byron.
Hey, Rusty. Jay, Lynn, and everybody else on the net. Hope everybody's having a good evening. We've had a hot one today here, but in old Bluffdale, Texas, but word's out it's going to get hotter. We've been below normal for last several days, so that's been good. Anything below normal's good. No rain, of course, so it's hot and dry. So, we're not supposed to talk weather. We're supposed to talk radios, aren't we? I'm on a Kenwood 530 tonight. Well, I've cleaned up a little bit. Continue to work on just a couple more things to do to it. FC50 mic, inverted V antenna, and I'm still barefoot. Hope everybody's staying close to home and safe. Tonight I had a kind of a bad week last week. I lost two old friends. One 64-year-old fella I knew years ago back in Temple, Texas. He passed away with COVID. I guess his underlying issue was blood clots. And then I lost an old Aggie band buddy from way back class of 70. Both of those were hard to say. So, y'all stay in and stay well, stay safe. I guess we're going to see more and more of that as we get that age. Back to you, Rusty. WA5EDX.
All right, Byron, the 530 Kenwood sounds good, as usual. I appreciate you checking in there. All right, WW9W. Did you ever show up, Robert?
Oh, I got one rebuttal. Speaking of Robert, can I add that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I talked to Robert. He was calling me lazy. I took offense to that. It's not that I'm lazy. I just really, really enjoy doing nothing.
Roger. Yeah, I spoke to him on the phone today. Jimmy Brown, KG5IZ, was talking to him on the phone, and I was over at Jimmy's house working on his stuff. I went up and down his tire about 2.5 times. And when I walked back in the house, he was talking on the phone to Robert, and he said, "You and Robert know each other." I said, "Say hello to Robert." So I took his phone and spoke to Robert a little bit there. He said he was going to be here. Anyway, I was going to tell Robert if he showed up. I'm glad I'm not still hanging about 70 feet in the air, so there we go. All right. Anybody else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
K5AXW.
Hey, go ahead, Bill.
Hello, Rusty and the net, K5AXW. Bill here in the east side of Dripping Springs. Tonight I'm talking on the NCX 200. It's got a paging mic with a VoiceMax processor. That's getting a little help from the FL2100B. And headed out to an off-center fed dipole that's camouflaged along the fence line in the HOA. Nothing to buy, sell, or trade, or not yet at least. Good to hear you guys. Rusty, crap, I don't even remember your call sign. That's how long it's been. K5AXW.
Yeah, it has been a while, Bill. It's great to hear you there. Don't you feel alive and kicking somewhat? Now, the National NCX 200 sounds good there. I'll have to look at that one. I'm not familiar with that model, but I'll check it out. Anyway, appreciate you checking in. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. KG5LRS. KG5LRS. Hello, yeah, go ahead over there, neighbor.
Yeah, evening time, Rusty, and evening time to everybody out there on the Boat Anchors net tonight. I'm not talking on any boat anchor tonight, but I did want to jump in here and say evening time to everybody. We're just still talking on this Yaesu 890, and same old antenna, inverted D up about 45 feet, but anyway, I guess I always say if it's not broke, don't fix it, so I just kind of keep talking on the same old jump. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great evening, and thanks again, Rusty, for picking me up. KG5LRS.
Okay, bye. I just remembered your name there, JC. My neighbor over there, about 4 or 5 miles over there on the other side of the woods. I was down south of you, down there to our other neighbor down there, Jimmy Brown, today doing some work. Yeah. But anyway, oh, by the way, I'll let you know I got all of my antennas on my tower fixed, so I'm in good shape now. I got the 6-meter beam straightened out. I finally did what I said I was going to do. I took all the matches off of it and made the dripping element just like a dipole, and that's just working like a hose. All right. Catch you later, JC. Appreciate you checking in. Maybe we'll bump into you face by face here in a little while. All right. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Kilo 5, Bravo, Tango.
Okay, that Kilo 5, but I didn't get the 2 letters, but the Tango on the end. Go ahead.
Okay, this is K5 BBT. Keeps 5 big boys' toys. Over.
Yeah, big boy's toy. Go ahead. Tell us about it.
Okay, I'll tell you about it. Well, this is the boat anchor net. So my boat anchor, the one that's working right now, is this Drake L4B. And I
appreciate everybody on the net, and we'll catch you on later at K5DBT.
All right. Well, the L4B is working, and whatever rig you're driving it with is working fine. Appreciate you checking in. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Kilo Alpha 5, Charlie, X-Ray Golf.
Kilo Alpha 5, Charlie, X-Ray Golf. Go ahead.
Yes, Bob out San Angelo, Rusty. The sundown thing is finally getting right where I can hear y'all and y'all can hear me. So I thought I'd check in on the 520. Not much going on. Any of you guys got an old faceplate for Drake 2B or the Q multiplier part of it, the little part that goes in the speaker? I've got the old Drake speaker, but the Q multiplier module is missing out of it. So I'm looking around for a faceplate for a 2B that's in good shape and a module to fit in the speaker for the Q multiplier. May not ever find them, but who knows? Anyway, that's about it from here. Everybody have a good week. It's just been hotter than hell here. It was 103 today, and 103 or 4 yesterday. It doesn't show any signs of going away. So that's what we're dealing with. And we'll see y'all next week, K560.
All right, Bob. Good to hear from you. The Kenwood station is working for you? I do have a faceplate, but it's not the one you want. It's for a TR3, unfortunately. So scratch that. There's no scratches on it far, no, but scratch that anyway. Appreciate you checking in. We'll catch you next week. All right. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Whiskey Alpha 5, Delta, Sierra, Sierra.
WA5DSS, go ahead.
Yeah, this is WA5DSS. Name is Bill. We're in Kerrville. We are running a TS520 into a Collins 30L1 and have a Ultimax engine. WA5DSS, back to net.
All right, yeah, I believe you said the 520 is sounding good down there from Wildcat territory down there. All right, appreciate you checking in. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited, Nick? Come now. Well, I think I run the string there. K5LYN, WK5R. Have you got everything rewired? Go ahead.
Well, we're fixing to find out, Rusty. Do I sound like I'm on 80 meters? K5LYN.
Yeah, you are. Go ahead. Take a shot.
All right. This is K5LYN. Hey, before I talk about this radio, let me talk to CST. Hey, Bob, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, about the Drake. The Drake 2B is still a very popular receiver, and it might be better if we try to find one with a good faceplate and make the one you've got there more the parts rig for the backup, because those are still, like I've got, altogether I've got 3 of them in here, and it's kind of hard to come by one. Give that a thought, okay?
Well, that's what I'd rather do. That's fine with me. I'll just, if anybody's got a good 2B and, we'll do something there. That's, since I know everything in this one works, it'd be a good parts radio.
Okay. I agree. All right, I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, this is K5LYN, Lynn in Austin, and I happen to be listening on the Drake 2B with the Q multiplier peaked all the way up, and it's one of the most fascinating ways to receive single sideband I ever had. And it's paired up with a homebrew single sideband transmitter built by KG7TR from QST 1956 called the Cheap and Easy SSB. Built on the chassis of the BC-458 aircraft receiver from World War II, and uses that original VFO, and I'm using it to drive the Collins 30L1 here, and I don't have as much power as I did a while ago, but still it ought to be working. The band's beginning to open up here. So let's see if we can find a Drake 2B at a good price for K560 there, and see if we can get him on one of these Drake receivers, because they are fabulous. All right, who else for the net? K5LYN calling for the
Comment.
Comment, go ahead.
Yeah, Lynn, this is Dan, KWZ. I know we've talked about this before. I think we have the Drake 2B. They are the incredible little receiver. Every single one of them I've ever had. There was an article, Electric Radio, about connecting the Heathkit Q multiplier to it. Of course, you have to change the one wire. You have to move one wire to tap into the 455 IF instead of the 50. But it's been my experience that I thought the Heathkit Q multiplier worked considerably better than the Drake Q multiplier on that same radio. And I'm not sure why it would, but it seemed to have a lot better adjustment. And for CW, I know for a fact it was better. That's it. KW's back to me.
Okay, Dan, you may have a point there. I know that there can be a lot of variables involved, like it's a 455 KCIF is not exactly right. The Drake Q multiplier doesn't act quite right on it. I've got a 2A like that I need to work on. But all in all, I've got 3 of them, and for the most part, they're pretty spectacular. But, yeah, there are some variables there, and you're quite correct about that. The Heathkit Q multiplier can be made to work with it, but it's kind of fun to have the one that was in the receiver speaker. Matches up and all that kind of stuff. Good point, though, Dan. All right, who else for the boat anchors? K5LYN calling and listening.
Comment.
Comment, go ahead.
Now, this WK5R, I think I've got a Heathkit Q multiplier.
Well, we got to find him a receiver with a good front panel, though. You know, don't throw that Q multiplier away. Somebody's gonna want it.
It's sitting out in the carport on a shelf, so it'll stay there till somebody wants it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can find Bob a good, decent enough looking Drake 2A or 2B receiver. Either one of them works fine, but they're spectacular. All right. Who else for the net? K5LYN listening.
Alpha Delta Charlie.
Delta Charlie, talk to us.
Yeah, good evening, Lynn. Everybody in the net. This is Rick, WD5ADC, down in the Rio Grande Valley. And tonight I'm on the Gonset GSP 100 again. A receiver is a Drake 2B with has a 2BQ also. However, I'm not using it, but I do have one. The amp is a 3001. Microphone is a Aesthetic D104. And the antenna is an inverted V up about 30 feet.
Rick, your GSP 100 is one of my favorite radios every week when you put it on. It's just spectacular. And if you've never seen a picture of a Gonset GSP 100, take a look at it. It's the ultimate boat anchor looking radio of the very early 1960s. And Rick, you need to put that Q multiplier on there and peak the Q multiplier up all the way up in the peak position. It's spectacular.
Yeah, okay. I can't do that. I've got it unplugged from the back of the radio.
Well, I mean, not right now, but get it to where you can plug it in. It's worth it, especially on a noisy night.
Yeah, I've had it on before, but there may be a problem with it because it just doesn't seem to be working right.
Yeah, there could be. Yeah, I run it in it basically turns your IF into a regenerative receiver at 455 KC, and then that goes down to the 50 KC IF. So what happens is pretty spectacular. Anyway, great to hear you, Rick. Beautiful signal on the Gonset. What else for the net tonight?
Yeah, 7-3, everybody. WD586.
Great to hear you. All right, who else for the net? K5LYN on the cheap and easy SSB. Well, we may have been around the table here. Jay, you want to see what you can do with it? We've had a great net tonight. QS, K5LYN.
Yeah, okay, Lynn. Yeah, we'll give her another shot. I think I'm still reasonably good. Yeah, it looks like it's on frequency, so, or at least close enough. We've had 27 check-ins so far. It's not too bad. We've still got 45 minutes to go. I'll be doggone. No, we don't. 15 minutes to go. I was looking at the wrong clock. Never mind. Don't pay any attention to me. Just answer me if you want to check in. Anyone else for the boat anchors come now?
Recheck, WA5EDX.
Go ahead, Byron.
Yeah, Jay, question for you. What kenwood did you say you were looking for when you were transmitting her earlier?
Looking for a TS820S. 820S that I can match up with my R820 receiver.
Okay. Well, why do you want to match a transceiver with a receiver, though?
Because the R820 is the best receiver Kenwood ever made, and it proves it every time I turn it on.
And it's better than the 820 receive, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. It's also got shortwave bands built into it and capability for AM and all that.
Okay. Well, I probably have I do have a couple extra 820S's, so maybe I'll send you an email on QRZ if you're good on QRZ. Send you a pic or something.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be fine. And I've got some stuff that maybe if you're interested, we might do some trading or whatever. Yeah, we'll talk about it over email or phone or whatever.
Okie doke. Well, don't let me forget it then. Oh, I don't mind giving my cell phone out over the air. You got a pen?
Well, I got a pencil. Go ahead.
Okay. 632 630 0934. 832-630-0934.
Yes, sir. I believe I got it. 632-630-0934.
You bet.
I'll give you a holler after a minute if that's all right.
Oh, sure.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Byron. Appreciate it. All right, folks. Is there anything else?
Oh, negative.
Okay. Good deal. All right, folks. Anyone else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now, please. Well, all right. I didn't find another check-in, but I did find a radio, maybe. So, Rusty, KM5QS, yeah. Go ahead, Rusty.
KM5QS. Let me take this. Get it downloaded on the there we go. That doggone thing moves on me. Oh, if I don't get anything, whoops, it moves in. Hello. Okay, I think I got. All right, if I don't get anything, you want me to go ahead and tie the ribbons on it?
If I have
Oh, pick up, Doug.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Somebody looking for a 2A receiver?
2B.
Well, a 2A and a 2B are only tiny difference. Hey, Bob, are you still there?
Still there.
Yeah, the only difference is you've got a 500 cycle selectivity option on the 2A that you don't have on the. You've got a 500 cycle selectivity option on the 2B that you don't have on the 2A. That's about the only difference.
Roger. But the 2A works a lot better on AM, which that's what I'm use mine on. I've got one if he's interested in that. He dropped me an email. I'm good on QRZ.
Yeah, that's right. There's one wider selectivity option on the 2A than on the 2B. But on sideband, it comes out the same. Bob, I wish you had some email. We could work with you better on this.
Well, I got that down, so.
Yeah, just, Doug, just stand by. We may get back to you.
Roger.
Back to you. Who had it, Rusty?
Yeah, I had it. All right. Who else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Recheck.
Recheck, go ahead.
Yeah, Rusty. Hey, this is Doug, WB1E. I forgot to say I wanted to throw out there that I was wanting a want, and that is I'm looking for a transceiver, a Swan 700, and various conditions. Please contact me and tell me what you have. I'm good in QRZ under the call Whiskey Bravo 1 Echo, or I'll give you my cell number. It is 979-219-7800. Again, 979-219-7800. Okay, this is Whiskey Bravo 1 Echo. Back to W5KR and the net.
Contact. Comment, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Doug, I think I've got your party in Port Aransas. Captain Ron has a shelf full of swans of all kinds, including 700s. And they do need repair because they did go through a flood, but I've seen them and they don't look like it. So they may be rebuildable and they may be cheap. I don't know. You will have to get a hold of him. I'll get a hold of him and give him your number, and we can go from there.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think I'm familiar with the Horde. Thanks a lot, Jay. By the way, you sound great tonight.
Why, thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah, I'm back on the plastic radio, by the way. WB Winnie.
Well, we'll forgive you. I'll go back to you, Rusty.
All right, thank you, Jay. And appreciate it there, Doug. All right. Who else to the Boat Anchors Unlimited come now?
Contact,
go ahead.
Hey, Rusty, and actually this is for Jay. Jay, didn't ZIV have a Swan 700? I'd borrowed it from him at one time. I don't know if he'd want to turn loose of it, but it sure was a nice radio.
You know, he might. I'll call him first.
Yeah, that was a very nice radio, but I don't know if he wants to turn loose of it. But anyway, just a thought.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, Mike, and he's done all the mods to it too, I think.
Yeah, it's a beautiful radio, but anyway, might be worth a call.
Yeah, I'll call Jim first and see what's going on, because his is working. I don't think Ron's is. It will need some. Ron's will probably need some repair, although, well, I'll go into it here. They look good. Anyway, thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mike. Appreciate it. WB Winnie.
Okay. Yeah, let that thing quit moving around. But anyway, here we go. Okay. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited come now? Anybody else? Whoa. Thing moved on me. Hello. And there we go. Anybody else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited come now? Well, I don't hear you. So, Lynn, you want me to tie the ribbons on, or do you want to take another shot?
Well, I'll see if anybody else wants to talk to me, and then we can let anybody talk that wants to talk. Yeah, but I think it's time. It's been a spectacular net tonight. This is K5LYN, Lynn and Austin on the cheap and easy SSB, homebrew from QSC 1956. Anybody need to talk to me before we shut her down tonight? I don't think so. 73's the group. Jay, over to you, and then you can give it back to Rusty, and we'll be gone.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you very much for checking in this evening. It's been a pleasure, as usual. And all the rigs sounding great. Everybody's making it down here just fine. Y'all be careful, be safe, try to treat each other as nice as the other guy deserves. Oh, forgive me. I couldn't help that. KM5QS 73. We'll see you next week.
All right, Jay. Appreciate it. And, yeah, like Jay said, appreciate all y'all checking in out there with those old radios. And, well, that's y'all doing that. Me and Jay and Lynn and Guy when he's there, and Jim down there in New Valley. In the rare times he's able to be here, which he's on the ground right now, I guess. I don't know if he's making any progress or not. But anyway, we know what it takes to get these things on the air. So until next week, we'll see y'all then. I'm fixing to go get on the other radio, and we'll now close the Boat Anchors Unlimited net and return the frequency back to normal amateur abuse. WK5R.
Hey, Rusty?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I think the ghost of cornbread took residence in your VFO.
You may have something there, Mike.
You just throw an anchor out and just tie that thing down to something.